Homophobia. It's the UK's second most popular form of hate crime. But is it the only cause of concern in the LGBT community today? I'm Tim Bassett, and in this three-part series I want to dig a little deeper, looking at race, religion, conversion and education, to uncover the real issues facing the LGBT community today.
We provide this therapy for those who are seeking change. They are unhappy with their same-sex attraction.
And I did not see a single person who ever found freedom from same-sex attractions.
You think that people aren't born gay, they all become gay?
I think that science is very clear.
Can you change your sexuality? This was the very question I had to ask myself when I began this investigation. And according to some organisations in the UK, you can. Conversion therapy is the practice of trying to alter your sexual orientation using psychological, physical, or religious intervention. In 2018, a government survey of 108,000 members of the LGBT community found that 2% had undergone conversion therapy, with another 5% being offered it. With a government-backed call to end its practice in the UK, just how damaging can conversion therapy be? Jeremy Marks, a former ex-gay fundamentalist who was born in 1952 when being gay was a criminal offence. But having been through conversion therapy and having administered it to others, how does he feel about it today?
When I eventually discovered the ex-gay movement, as we called it then, which of course nowadays would be looked at as conversion therapy, to us then it was such a relief to find somewhere where you could meet other LGBT people. It took my mind off the whole struggle with being gay for a year or so, until one evening I was at a young people's meeting. The place was so packed out that I literally had to sit on the edge of a table next to a chap who was so close I could feel the warmth of his body next to mine, and it just created such an effect in me of guilt, really, that I noticed, and that I felt excited by this. So we carried on with weekly support groups for the next 4 or 5 years, and I was horrified at the depression they were going through and the misery. And I think it was probably about 98, one guy who'd been with us a couple of years made a massive suicide attempt.
At this point, it's important to look at the impact of the practices. Conflict with your religion, poor mental health. What's the outcome? And what could the long-term effects be? And could this damage you for life?
Increase somebody's suicidal risk, because it's all focused on what they should be and what they aren't. I don't see how you can change who somebody is. You can help them in other lots of other therapies about coming to terms with things. It's saying to them that they're wrong, that there is something intrinsically wrong with that person.
As the war against conversion therapy rages on, the LGBT community is ready to see the end of this practice.
I think it's hugely important that we ban conversion therapy. Conversion therapy has caused so much hurt and harm to LGBTQIA+ people over decades. The constant shame directed towards LGBTQIA+ people is hugely harmful, and it's something that we need to address. We need to set a marker in our society, moving on from the past, recognising that hurt and harm that's been caused, and say no more.